Blog Talk Radio.
Out at foggy midfield, muddy midfield, although they've done a heck of a job getting the field ready, they just tossed the coin to start the proceeding.
Silverback looking left, looking in, he's going to go long down the left side, there he is, and it is called 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Jason Cruz. Coast to coast.
Welcome to the Nothing But Sports Show on Nbs Central Radio, hosted by Jay Franchise, Yvonne Maddock, and Truex the Sports Junkie, where they give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help us God.
What's good, baby? Welcome to the Nothing But Sports Show on Nbs Central Radio. Of course, I'm your host, Truex the Sports Junkie, and man, oh man, we had some news that went down this weekend, and we're going to talk about it. Of course, I got the homie from San Jose in the building tonight. What's up, Keo? I guess I'm going to say it again. What's up, Keo? Man, I feel like I'm a part of Avengers right now, and Thanos just snapped his fingers. I don't know where Keo at, y'all, but hopefully he comes on here in a few minutes. But nonetheless, Truex the Sports Junkie, Nothing But Sports Show. They had crazy news happen over the weekend. I talked about it on the Stardom Stidham show, and I'm just still in awe and still in shock about what happened over the weekend. A guy that I said was going to be a Hall of Famer before he was even drafted into the NFL, retires at the age of 29. I'm completely lost by it. Shout out to Andrew Luck, man. I hope everything works out for you and in all your future endeavors. But I don't even know where to begin as far as this Andrew Luck situation is happening currently. He retires from the sport of the NFL. Well, he retires from the game of the NFL, and he leaves the Colts with a backup quarterback as their starter, where many people pick them to represent the AFC this upcoming year in the Super Bowl. That was supposed to be the team that was going to give Kansas City all they could handle. I think I got Keo back on because I hear something in the background. What's up, Keo? Oh, man. Keo left me stranded tonight on the show, I guess. But back to what I was saying, the Chiefs and the Patriots, it basically was supposed to be a three-headed monster race for the Super Bowl out of the AFC between the Patriots, the Chiefs, and the Colts. If you ask anybody, any so-say expert, preseason, prior to the season starting, everybody would have told you they had either the Chiefs, the Patriots, or the Colts coming out the AFC, and many people had Andrew Luck as their MVP for this upcoming season. And now the Colts, literally 1 week before the NFL starts, their starting quarterback, Pro Bowl quarterback, is now out for the rest of the year.
I'm back.
Oh man, where were you?
No, I sent you a message. I needed you to cover for 5 minutes.
Oh man, you fell off, bro. But go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Before I finish up my statement.
Yo, what's up? I apologize for that, but this is Keo. And I'm looking forward to tonight's show. unfortunately, Mike won't be available to come on tonight. I'm not sure about Yvonne, but there's a really slim chance that he may not make it also. But I actually have all of their picks actually from week 2 of college football. So stay tuned for that later on in the show. But go ahead. I apologize for that pick of where you left off from.
No, I mean, we like I said, we're gonna talk about Andrew. Like I'm diving straight into it, Gio, because this is the huge topic in sports right now, the big topic, the major story. And like I was saying before you came on, it was a 3-man race in most people's eyes. Of course, you could talk about the Browns as an outside shot, maybe even the Texans. Could the Jaguars rebound now that they have Nick Foles in the mix in Jacksonville? Could the Chargers, if they sign Melvin Gordon, be in play? Of course, all these teams, but if you ask most experts, they had the AFC representative being this year either being the Indianapolis Colts, the Kansas City Chiefs, or the New England Patriots. And now, with no Andrew Luck, I don't even know where the Colts go from here. I know they got Jacoby Brissett. I know Frank Wright is saying all the right things. I know T.Y. Hilton's saying all the right things. And let me be the first one to tell y'all, I hope that Jacoby Brissett can live up to what they're hyping him up to be. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think they do take a step back. I think that in the next year or so, maybe 2 years, top 2 years, they're going to be drafting a quarterback to take over that franchise. You got to think the Colts literally for the last, 20 years have had 2 quarterbacks, Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. And now they go into the 2019-2020 season with a lot of uncertainty. You're going into the season with Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback. Not saying that he's not a serviceable quarterback. I heard somebody say today, I think it was Nate Burleson, shout out to NFL Network, love what they do over there. I heard him say that he believes Jacoby Brissett could be a franchise quarterback. And I'm pausing because, come on, man. I'm not being disrespectful, but it's way too early, I believe, to sit here and say Jacoby Brissett could be a franchise quarterback. When I think of a franchise quarterback, I think of 10 years, 15 years with a team and can possibly win a Super Bowl and be a playoff contender year in and year out. Do I believe that the Indianapolis Colts have talent? Absolutely. Do I think Jacoby Brissett's a franchise quarterback? Absolutely not. This hurts across the board. This hurts all the Colts draft stock in fantasy football, except for Jacoby Brissett, obviously. His draft stock goes up now because now he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, especially in a 2-quarterback league. But Andrew Luck, man, I will say this. Indianapolis fans, I am a little disappointed in y'all. I will say that. There was no reason to boo the man. I get it. Y'all was emotional. I get it. But at the end of the day, that dude put his life on the line. He gave y'all everything he had since he's been drafted to the Indianapolis Colts. Through the good times, through the bad, through the ups and the downs, through injury or health. Even when he was injured, he tried to play. There was no reason to do that. So I want to wish Andrew Luck the best, a speedy recovery. I hope he decides to come back next year. He'll only be 30 years old. I would love to see him, playing football again because I really enjoy watching him play football, even though I'm not a Colts fan. But this comes as a huge, huge, huge shock to me. And I think it does as well for the entire fan base of the Indianapolis Colts and football in general. Go ahead, Keo.
Well, I'm glad you dived into mentioning about Andrew Luck because that was actually the first topic of tonight's show, we wanted I wanted to ask everybody about their reactions with the retirement of Andrew Luck. That was, the shock heard around the world, man. Nobody expected this, and nobody saw this coming. I thought it was fake news when I heard it, but once the Bleacher Report broke it out, ESPN broke it out, I was like, damn, this is really happening. And it's sad, man, because I was able to, watch Andrew Luck, in college becoming something special when he was in college, and then transition to the big leagues and being the player that he is today. And I'm not a Colts fan, but Luck did go to Stanford down in the Bay Area, so it did have a huge impact on me, and I'm still shocked about it. Also, it doesn't even seem real to me, with Luck retiring, because this is a guy that, he just won Comeback Player of the Year, man. He led his team to the playoffs, and going into the 2019 season, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Obviously, I didn't have the Colts as contenders in the AFC this year, but I felt like this team, they had a good, legitimate chance to threaten, the teams like the Kansas Cities and the New Englands, and a lot of people had Andrew Luck as the MVP, man. A lot of people have him as to win MVP. I mean, I didn't, but he had a great shot, and you look. I think this was one of the best designed teams Andrew Luck has ever had, and then with him announcing this was just it was shocking, man. I was devastated by it, and I was lost for words. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, it'll hit like Colts fans that I know more, because that it was a huge impact on them. But I understand what they're going through, and some people may laugh at this, but I'm when it comes to Tony Romo, he's like one of my favorite players, like, of all time, like, to watch. And seeing him being undrafted and being that the player who he was, when I found out that that he was letting it go and calling it quits, I was sad by it, man. And it hurted me, because you support these guys, and especially for your home team, and for him to end his career at a young career, that's sad, man. And I just feel bad for him, especially what he had to go through, and for the Colts organization.
Okay. So what's your next topic? I just jumped in there because that was the headline. I mean, on any sports show, that was the box office news. That was the thing that everybody talked about on any sports channel, on any sports radio. That was the main topic. So what's your next topic on this show? I know
so maybe our first hour, I'm not saying majority of our first hour might be dedicated towards Luck and the Colts, but our next topic is, where do the Colts go from here, man? What are you expecting them this season?
Well, I don't want to go too much into it, because I know we're going to do the AFC South predictions, but I mean, they're turning to Jacoby Brissett, who has had some experience as a starting quarterback. He's come over from New England, so obviously he was coached up by Bill Belichick and company, Josh McDaniels and company. Now he's with another Super Bowl winning coordinator. Now he's a head coach, and Frank Wright, who I like a lot. I was the main one beating my chest saying that Frank Wright should get the job before Josh McDaniels ever got the job, and then obviously turned the job down after initially committing to the job. But I love Frank Wright. I think if anybody can, get the most out of Jacoby Brissett, it is Frank Wright. But where do they go from here? I think in the next 1 to 2 years, they're going to be trying to draft a quarterback, whether that's Trevor Lawrence or Tua. Those two are big names in college football right now. Maybe a Jake Fromm. I'm not really high on him as far as the NFL is concerned right now. But they're going to be looking for a quarterback in the next year or so, I believe. I think this team, at best, can win 8 games. That's the best they can do. But we'll talk about, as far as will 8-8 get them into the playoffs? Because we've seen it before. We've seen 7-9 get you in the playoffs. So I'm not going to spill it as far as who I got, but I do think, for me, at best, I see 8-8, and I think that they're going to be drafting a quarterback within the next 1 to 2 years. What you think, Theo?
As far as their expectations and what I'm expecting from them, you probably heard it on the Stardom Stidham show. I think this team was, a 10-6 and 11-5 team. I think they're going to be under 500, man. I think they're going to be inconsistent. But I do feel like this team will play with a chip on their shoulder. I feel like this season, and T.Y. Hilton even said it himself, that he's dedicating this season to his best friend. And I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go into season and try to prove something, and prove the doubters wrong, because all of a sudden people are writing them off, man. People don't think they have no chance to even win the division. People don't even think that they could win the wild card. So I just feel bad for this team, and the expectations are set really high for this team. But I think this team, with the loss of Andrew Luck, it drops them completely down. But they still got a lot of skilled players on both sides of the field, offense and defense. And if Frank Reich, he's a really great coach, man. I just feel like I don't know what you're gonna get from Jacoby Brissett. Like, he could be inconsistent. He could be dreadful, man. But the good thing about it is, like I mentioned on the Stardom Stidham show, he's gotten majority of the snaps in training camp, because Luck hasn't been there and he hasn't been in the preseason games and all that. So that's a good thing, though. So, and he has chemistry with the players around him, but come on now, he ain't no Andrew Luck. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just think this team is gonna be a under 500 team. I think there'll be some flashes and excitement through times, but I think they're just gonna be too overwhelmed, and they just got high expectations right now, and I think this emotionally hurts them, man, because Andrew Luck, 2 weeks away from the regular season, announces his retirement, man. basically, Andrew Luck, I guess you could say, controlled the fate of the Colts. And that's just sad for the position that they're in because, they had the good things coming, man. Because, they got, Darius Leonard, Defensive Rookie of the Year. They got some young defensive backs over there. They got the who else they got? They got, Marlon Mack. People expected a lot from him this year. We all know what you're going to get from T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton, he's a legit receiver in the league. They added Devin Funchess. People expected Devin Funchess to, rejuvenate his career because he wasn't that guy in Carolina. They drafted Paris Campbell. They got a solid offensive line, man. And a great coaching staff. So I just feel like this team is going to struggle. I think they're going to go through a lot of ups and downs. And I think it's going to be a tough and long season for the Colts. But I think that's ridiculous. Whoever said that Brissett is a franchise quarterback, he doesn't fit that aura of that franchise quarterback. He just doesn't fit that Colts culture, that Colts organization of what they look for a franchise quarterback. Because you look at the last two with franchise quarterbacks, man, it's Peyton Manning and it's Andrew Luck. You telling me that's a franchise quarterback? And that's a big shoe to fill into also. So, it's like I said, it's going to be a long season for the Colts, man.
No doubt. So, there's the next topic that we have. You can just go into the topics because I don't know. Once you finish going, you can just go to the next topic because I don't know what they are.
So, where do you rank? So, when, as far as like sporting events, as far as like sporting, like these sporting news goes or any events in general, is this the most shocking sporting moment that you was able to witness of Andrew Luck retiring?
That's such a tough question, man. To say the most shocking thing I've ever seen in sports, I don't know if I can go that far. It's definitely up there as far as one of the most shocking. Whenever Barry Sanders retired, that was shocking. I mean, I know for my younger viewers out there, they don't really know who Barry Sanders is. I have some students that don't even know who Barry Sanders is. But dude left after rushing for 1,400 yards, basically 1,500 yards, because he was right there at 1,500 yards, and decided to walk away from the sport of football. That was shocking. Andrew Luck, like you said, come back 7 years, 39 touchdowns to take you through last season. Great team going to this season where they could possibly, like I said, challenge for the AFC. I'm with you. I wasn't going to pick this to go to the Super Bowl, but nonetheless, you knew they could at least challenge for the AFC. There were some people that actually had the coach in the Super Bowl. So that's interesting. But as far as the most shocking moments in sports, I can't say it's the most shocking thing I've ever seen. It's up there, though. Barry Sanders' retirement, just abruptly, just out of nowhere retiring. Calvin Johnson walked away, but we kind of knew Calvin Johnson was going to walk away. It felt that way for a little while. What about Michael Jordan? After winning 3 championships, saying he was done. We have to look at those things. I mean, I know, like I said, a lot of younger viewers don't remember that. Jordan walked away after winning a championship. Got on the press stage. I don't know the press. I had a press conference and said, I've accomplished everything in the game of basketball. I love the game of basketball, but now I want to go pursue something else I love. That was shocking. So I don't want to put one above the other, but if they're all in the same mix, it's definitely one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in sports. I'm not going to say is the most shocking thing I've ever seen in sports. Shoot, if we're talking about just shocking, I was shocked when Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. I mean, that was shocking, but I guess if you stood a chance. This, no one saw coming. He was blindsided by it, so it's definitely up there, but I can't say it's the most shocking thing that I've ever seen in sports. It's one of them, but not the most.
I think one of mine, there's two that sticks to me the most that I just won't get out of my head. The first one is the fight at Auburn Hills, man, with the Pacers and Pistons.
That's crazy too.
Yeah, I was like, damn, man, because I've seen the fights like in sports, but a fight like this, and this was like an all-out brawl. It wasn't just players involved.
Yeah.
It was fans involved also. Suspensions was getting handed out. So I think that was one of the most shocking moments ever. Michael Vick also with the pit bulls. Yeah, because with Michael Vick, that thing, it hit me too because, like I said, man, I'm a huge fan of college football, man, because I like one of the reasons why I like college football, and the people that know me, they know why I like college football. It's not just the fan excitement, certain games, and rivalries. It's just that I'm able to see these guys that become great on the college football level, and I'm able to see them transition on the professional stage, and that's just what I like so much about college football. And with Michael Vick, I followed him when he was in Virginia Tech throughout the whole time with Frank Beamer and them, and him becoming an Atlanta Falcon. I was just excited for that, man. I was like, damn, it's about that time Vic is gonna get on stage and become a highlight reel. And he's like one of my top players to watch. I think he's one of the most exciting players to watch that I ever seen play the game. And when that happened to him, man, I was shocked, man. I was surprised. They didn't want him back in the NFL. People said that the NFL is a bad thing for the NFL to even let him back in the league. And I think that was a huge time in Atlanta. A lot of people turned their backs on Michael Vick also when that happened. And for me, I never turned my back on Michael Vick. I supported him through that time. And that was just that hit me more, and that was like a huge shocking moment to me. Obviously, the Mike Tyson and the Evander Holyfield situation also. I think that's a huge shocking moment also. But as far as Andrew Luck goes, man, yeah, man, that's tough, man. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if it would be on my top 10 most shocking moments in sports history. Yeah, I'm not sure it's not even in my top 10, man, because, I've been watching sports for quite some time. As far as Andrew Luck's retirement, I don't know if it's in my top 10, man. Is it in your top 10?
Definitely. And I mean, real quick, the reason why you have to put in the top 10 is because of timing. The timing is what makes so crazy. Because had the Colts been like last year, had Andrew Luck, he had missed his entire year, he comes in to the 2018 season and say, you know what, I'm just not healthy. I can't do this. And he's not coming off the big deal that he just had. He said, okay, I get it. It's not as shocking. But literally a week before the season starts, coming off of, like you said, the comeback player of the year, it is extremely shocking. And then you think about the team, how good they are. They get Devin Funches to come over from Carolina. I guarantee you he's tired thinking that he was playing with Andrew Luck, not Jacoby Brissett. No disrespect to Jacoby Brissett, but that's the thing. Eric Ebron from last year. Do they not like Jacoby Brissett? No, I'm not saying that. But a lot of those guys went there to play with Andrew Luck. So, yeah, it's definitely in my top 10 because when I think about the Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson, though that was shocking that Mike Tyson actually lost to Buster Douglas, we have to remember, in a fight like that, anybody can win with 1 punch, and you still, even though you don't expect it, it can happen. We were blindsided by this. There was no writing on the wall where Andrew Luck is going to retire. No one brought it up. Nobody. So is it shocking? Absolutely top 10. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I gotta go through my list and look at the shocking moments in sports history, because another shocking moment is when Ronda Rousey finally got knocked out, man. That was shocking to me also. I think yeah, man, I think that was a huge shocking moment, in sports history, because Ronda Rousey, she was like the baddest woman on the planet, and nobody could even touch her. And then, when, somebody like Holly Holm finally just, start throwing bombs on her, and it was the end for her. I don't know, man. I just don't know if it's in my top 10. Like I said, I gotta go through my top 10, man, because there's a lot of great sporting moments that that I could say that that was more shocking than Andrew Luck's retirement. Obviously, I definitely do have it at least in the top 15, but a top 10. There's just too many moments that just shocked and hit me more than Andrew Luck's retirement. Even though it hit me, it just wasn't top 10.
Okay, it's all preference.
All right, so let's go to our next set of topics. So this one is actually going to get interesting. So, is there anybody to blame for Andrew Luck's early retirement?
I'm not going to do that. And I see people doing that all day, blaming their former GM, blaming their owner, blaming this one, blaming that one, blaming the offensive line. Now listen to me. That's a bunch of baloney. At the end of the day, Andrew Luck made a decision that he felt was best for him. We can go back and look at all the stuff that happened to Andrew Luck over these years. But the facts are he played all last year and was the comeback player of the year. Did he get hurt in the offseason? Yes. How is that management's fault? And how can we think to ourselves, because he got hurt, now we're going to blame the former GM, we're going to blame the owner? I'm not doing that. The dude was healthy. He got hurt. He had a calf strain. And he had his sprained ankle. But that wasn't until after they got their playoffs. So at the end of the day, we're going to go back years ago and say, well, that's why he retired, because he just started getting injured. Listen to me. There's many people in the NFL that's had injuries worse than Andrew Luck. Worse. than Andrew Luck and have came back. Andrew Luck is simply saying, cool, they have had injuries worse than I have, or I've had. But I'm not willing to risk me not be able to pick up my kids, me not be able to live a long, healthy life for this game. I heard Mark Fleris say if he could do it all over again, he would do nothing different because he loves football that much. Am I knocking Andrew Luck because, am I saying he doesn't love the sport of football? I'm not saying he doesn't love it. I'm simply saying he's choosing to live in his family over the game of football, and I commend him for that. I'm not blaming anybody, and people got to stop with that nonsense. The dude just came off of Comeback Player of the Year. RG3 tore his ACL and is still playing football. He tore everything in his knee and he's still playing football. Adrian Peterson, he's hurt himself numerous times and is still playing football right now. There's guys that hurt themselves, have had concussions, have had surgery. Peyton Manning, he hurt his neck, and for a long time, people didn't even know if he was going to come back. But then he came back. At the end of the day, Andrew Luck is not willing to risk everything like those guys was, and that's okay with me. That doesn't say he's a punk. That doesn't say that he doesn't love the sport of football. It's okay to say, you know what, I love my family, and I love my life more than I love the game of football. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Andrew Luck, man, I wish you the best in your future endeavors once again.
Dude, really?
And I'm not about to single out anybody.
Well, you ain't gonna blame the management, but I am.
That's okay.
So, I blame Jim Irsay. I think he's the he's responsible for the early retirement. I don't want to blame anybody, but if I had to pick, I would blame Jim Irsay, man, because it all started with this Peyton Manning thing. Peyton Manning with his neck surgery, they felt like they didn't need him no more, man, because they saw what Luck was doing. It was like, damn, man, this guy's a franchise quarterback. This guy could be our quarterback. Because I remember they had guys like Curtis Painter that was their starting quarterback. I think I remember one time Kerry Collins was their quarterback at one time, and they were really, really bad, man. They were a really bad team, one of the worst teams. Obviously, that's how they got, were able to get the expense of drafting Andrew Luck. So Andrew Luck comes in there, and Jim Irsay, he wants to forget about Peyton Manning so bad because Peyton Manning, he's an all-time great. He made a huge impact. He turned that franchise around. Just remember, Peyton Manning, that same draft class as Ryan Leaf. Remember, Ryan Leaf got drafted ahead of Peyton Manning, and people thought Ryan Leaf was the better overall guy. Obviously, Peyton Manning proved a lot of people wrong. Proved a lot of people. Okay, after, my bad. He got drafted after, so a lot of people thought Peyton Manning would excel over him. Ryan Leaf would excel over him because there was like a lot of comparisons going into that draft. People were comparing them to, who would have a better career, who's the better quarterback, and all that. And then, and then Peyton Manning took it by storm. Won a title in Indianapolis, broke a lot of records, won a whole bunch of individual accolades. Then he gets injured with all these multiple surgeries, and then they bring Andrew Luck, and I think Irsay assumed that Luck would fill into Peyton Manning's shoes, and those were some big shoes to fill. And in Stanford, man, this was a very conservative team under Jim Harbaugh. It was a very balanced attack. Andrew Luck didn't throw the ball as much as he did when he came to Indy. He was averaging 41 to 45 attempts a game. That's too much for a quarterback, man. For a quarterback to average that much. And then there was one year that he got sacked the most times. He didn't have no type of help at all. And I just feel like Jim Irsay expected them to do so much where it just overwhelmed him, and it got him hurt at the end, and it ended up him retiring early. So I feel like if anybody's to blame, it's Jim Irsay, man.
Okay, well, let me just rebuttal to that. Okay, so first of all, when you get drafted number one overall, you're getting drafted for a bad team. That's the first thing. Jim Irsay don't call the plays. He hires the guys. Pagano threw the ball that much. Not Jim Irsay. So that's first. And like I told my wife, we wasn't even talking about the Andrew Luck situation. My biggest issue in life, like in life itself, and I guarantee if I put one of my students on this show right now, they're going to tell you the exact same thing. That I say this all the time. My biggest issue in life is people always try to find somebody else to blame. In every situation. If a kid shoots up a school, well, it's somebody else's fault. It's the video game's fault. It's the rapper's fault. It's the movie's fault. That's a problem. When are we going to start holding ourselves accountable? Like, that's what I don't get. Everything in life, well, this person did that because of this. Well, we can do that's not how I was brought up. How much didn't bring me up like that? Like that. She said, if you did that, you chose to. I don't care what everybody else did. And at the end of the day, did he get hurt? Yes, but Andrew Luck chose to play this game. And when you choose to play this game, you choose that there's a chance that you can get hurt. We tell that to our kids right now. When you play football, there's a chance that you can get hurt. To put blame on somebody else, that's whack to me. And I know that this topic wasn't created in the sense of who we're going to go off on a whole different thing, but we have to stop doing that to me. I think that's what's going to set us up in the future as failures. Everything. Why is this person acting like this in the class? Because really they have this disease, or they have this thing going on with them. There's always justification instead of just accountability. Andrew Luck got hurt. It's unfortunate. It's not cool, but we don't have to put it on anybody else. Andrew Luck chose to play this game. He got hurt. There's a million other players that got hurt. Are we going to blame everybody in Chicago for Derrick Rose getting hurt? Are we going to blame everybody in Philadelphia for Allen Robinson getting hurt? Are we going to blame everybody in Miami because D-Wade got hurt a few times? That's crazy. Why you played him so many minutes? He's a basketball player. We gotta stop doing that, man. That's so whack to me, man. Accountability instead of justification. That's what I'm preaching. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's never the case, but for the most part, we have to start holding people accountable instead of sitting there and justifying why things are the way they are. That's whack to me.
But when it comes to sports, that comes with the territory, though. You obviously somebody has to get blamed for it. Somebody does.
Not when it comes to injury. Why are we blaming somebody else? Because this is one of the first times I see us blaming somebody else But I didn't hear nobody saying Robert Griffin got hurt because of somebody else. The play calling. Why we didn't say the play calling was terrible? That's whack to me. Michael Vick got hurt because of the play calling. Tom Brady got hurt because of the play calling. Joe Montana got hurt because of the play calling. So we're just going to sit there. I can continue on. The list can go on and on. But we're going to sit here and blame Jim Irsay or Chip Pagano or I can't think of the GM's name right now. We're going to blame that person because Andrew Luck had an unfortunate situation happen to him. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not cool. That's not right. That's the way I see it. But, I mean, like I said, I already know that's not my view on this is not the popular opinion. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with staying on my own where I'm at. Because me and my wife actually had a serious conversation about this very thing, and it had nothing to do with Andrew Luck. It had everything to do with school and kids in school, and we give people the reason why my child acted like that in your class is because you did this. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Your child acted like that because your child messed up, and it's okay. He made a mistake. She made a mistake. But we're not going to justify what they did. And we're not going to justify that Andrew Luck got hurt because of what Pagano did or what Irsay did. All Irsay does is start the check. That's all he does. He doesn't control the roster. He doesn't control the plays.
There are some owners, and we all know that does more than that. Just signs checks.
He's not one of them.
But we don't know that though, man. We don't know how involved Jim Irsay is with the team. Like just like we don't know how involved Jerry Jones is involved with the team. Obviously, he's involved a lot, and that goes for a lot of owners out there also. We don't know if Jim Irsay is just a me guy, okay, I'll sign you the checks, or he could be a guy that's involved with the team and calls the shots and sends a message to that's the GM's name, Chris Ballard, and Ballard sends a message to Frank Reich. Well, we don't know that though. I seen a different Andrew Luck before he was the guy in Stafford to the guy that he is now when he started playing with the Colts. It was a different type of playing style of Andrew Luck. And I'm not, like I said, I don't want to blame anybody, but the question for me states that if I have to blame somebody, I'm putting the blame on Jim Irsay.
Okay, and that's fair. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying fair. It's fine. At these their own, bro. These their own.
And I'll just leave it at that. Obviously, superstars and individuals, they gotta, obviously hold themselves accountable off of, if their team doesn't succeed, of why they lost the game, or certain specific things like that. Like somebody like LeBron, he always puts the blame on him because he's the leader of the team, man. He's the guy that leads the team, sets the tone, and I feel like everybody does hold themselves accountable off of certain things. So, and I'm pretty sure Jim Irsay feels bad about it. And maybe in his mind, even though he's not saying it, maybe he's saying, damn, maybe I did push him too much. Maybe I did expect too much for him. Maybe I shouldn't have asked him to fill in Peyton Manning's shoes. We don't know that, but that's what I think. And how I feel right now towards it.
Okay, it's all good.
All right, so let's go to our next topic, man. So like I said, we pretty much spend majority of the first hour towards Andrew Luck. So we're gonna leave it as it is, and I wish the Colts the best for the rest of the season. I hope Andrew Luck, has fun retiring, and I know he wants to travel a lot, see what's around there in the world, and and maybe he comes back, man. But with that being said, let's go to our final predictions. So this week is our final predictions because the season starts in 2 weeks, and we predicted all the divisions, so we got 2 more divisions left. Next week we'll be making our predictions of who goes to the playoffs, who wins MVP, who goes to the Super Bowl, and who's the Super Bowl champions and the Super Bowl MVP. So huge show next week. But with that being said, it's time to break down, and we'll start it off with the AFC South.
Okay, so we've been talking about the coach all along, and I have the coach coming in fourth. I know it's coming as a shock to some because people still like the coach, and that's cool. Coach is going to come in fourth place. I'm not buying into Jacoby Brissett. I just told y'all they're going to be at best 8-8. I think they'll be more along the lines of like 6-10, 5-11. They'll struggle. I think that they'll this is a shocking blow right before the season. Jacoby Brissett was not mentally prepared to be the starter. The receivers weren't mentally prepared for him to be the starter, or the running backs, or the offensive line, or the running back. The defense, they were prepared to, play one style of play, maybe be on the field. I don't want to say more, but this has been a different facet. Maybe, up big so they can rush the passer a little bit more. Now they may have to just grind things out and have to stop the run a little bit better. So I just think that this is going to be a letdown. I think the coach coming last. I'll stay at a record of 6-10. They'll struggle, but I got them coming at 6-10. Coming at number 3 for me. This one was tough. I'm not going to lie to y'all because I don't know what to expect from one team. And I think I know what I'm going to expect from the other team. But I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans coming at 3rd only because I think they have a quarterback controversy before the year is up between Ryan Tannehill and Marcus Mariota. I do think, however, though, this team will win 9 games. Yes, I'm going to say it again. They'll win 9 games. But they'll come in 3rd because the 2 teams in front of them will be a little bit better. Now, coming in at number 2 with 9 wins, but they'll have a better division record, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jaguars bounce back a little bit. They'll be 9-7 as well. They'll have some losses they shouldn't have. They could actually win 10 games, I can see. I don't think the Titans could win 10 games. That's why I think I have the Jaguars right in front of them. But I'll go 9-7 for the Jaguars. I have a feeling about Leonard Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette's going to have a big year. I'll say that. I think he has a chance to have a big year. They got rid of T.J. Yeldon, who took some carries away from him, definitely cut the ball in the backfield for him. But I think that this is the year for Leonard Fournette to either put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Either show up or show out. I mean, show out or show up, or however you say it. The receiving core is what worries me. The receiving core is what worries me, and only has them as the same record as the Titans. I prefer the Titans receiving core over the Jacksonville Jaguars receiving core. So I got the Jaguars coming in at second, 9-7, but a better division record over the Tennessee Titans. And obviously coming in number one for me is the Houston Texans. I think they go 11-5, possibly 12-4, but I'm going to say 11-5. I think that they have a lot of good pieces. If Will Fuller can stay healthy, they can be a dangerous team. I'm talking about dangerous enough to come out of the AFC. That's how much I like them. I actually think, and this is no disrespect to Lamar Miller, I think Lamar Miller, I hope you have a speedy recovery, my man. I never wish ill will towards nobody, but I think that they're going to be in a better situation without Lamar Miller than with Lamar Miller. I like Duke Johnson. I think Duke Johnson fits a little bit more in with what Deshaun Watson does, along with DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. I think that they can run the spread a little bit better. I think Duke Johnson's better out the backfield catching the ball than Lamar Miller. Duke Johnson has definitely risen as far as fantasy value. I see people play him as a running back too. He's actually a really great flex play right now. But I got this team coming in first place, and I think that they're going to win it by at least a 2-game margin, regardless of who comes in second. So I got the Houston Texans winning this division.
Well, how I have this division going, in last place, I actually have the Tennessee Titans. Despite them having 9 wins last year, to be honest with you, man, I honestly think what Derrick Henry did was just pure luck. I think that was hype. I think he got a little lucky, and I don't think he could do it again, man. I'll be honest with you, and I'm just not confident when it comes to Alabama running backs. They tend to let you down. They'll have a good season, then they'll just end up disappointing you. And obviously, everybody's on this hype train when it comes to Derrick Henry. So I got them, finishing 7-9 this season. They did add some veterans. They did add some veterans though. They added Adam Humphries in there. Obviously, they got Cameron Wake. They signed up Ryan Tannehill. They drafted A.J. Brown. I think they got a decent receiving core, man, and I think Michael Vrabel, got these guys, ready, have a winning mentality inside their head. But I just feel like it's not enough, man, to, win that division. So I got them finished 7-9. And third place, I'm actually rolling with the Colts, man. The Colts in third place. But I do think the Colts will finish with an 8-8 record. I think this is still a good team. On the defensive side, on the offensive side too, man. Frank Reich, he's a good coach. His first round pick from last year, Quentin Nelson, made it to the Pro Bowl in his first season. Eric Ebron turned his career. Obviously, that was a huge, credit to Andrew Luck for, getting him involved. But you got Jacoby Brissett there. I think this team's going to be a little inconsistent. They're going to expect a lot from Marlon Mack on the offensive side. I think they're going to rely too much on their defense. I think their defense is going to be their bread and butter, and they're just going to hold the fort down and help them win games. I think they're going to be inconsistent, though, but inconsistent that they'll win at least 8 games. So I got them finishing in third with an 8-8 record. So in second place, man, I got this Jacksonville Jaguars in second place. I possibly could see. It's a toss-up right now. I possibly could see a 10-win season for this team. A 10-win season for this team because they improved on their quarterback. They finally got rid of Blake Bortles, which I was hoping for the last couple of years. And I think they got a talented team, man. I think this team under Doug Marrone a couple of years ago, they reached the conference title game. I think the Jacksonville, they reshuffled their roster, especially in free agency. They added a first-round pass rusher, Josh Allen, who I'm really excited for. But yeah, man, thanks, True, for that insight about Leonard Fournette. Now it just changed my whole mindset on the NBS draft now. So I appreciate it, man. Good looking out, bro. But they still have guys like Jalen Ramsey, Calais Campbell, and I think this team will have at maybe a 9-7 record, and I think they have a good chance, especially with the Colts, with no Andrew left now, possibly threaten to get a wild card berth. So I got the Jacksonville finishing second in the division, and then first it's going to be a very tight race. I got this team finishing 10-6. I got the Houston Texans, man. We all know about Deshaun Watson. We all know about DeAndre Hopkins. We all know what they did last season, throwing over 4,000. D-Hop, having over 1,500 receiving yards. I don't know what's the status about Jadeveon Clowney. I heard there's a possibility that he might be getting traded, but they still got J.J. Watt over there, man, and they drafted, they had a good draft with, they drafted the dude Howard and Max Sharpring. I think that's his name, in the first 2 rounds. So they addressed that weakness on the offensive line. Hopefully they finally protect Deshaun Watson now because that's what he's needed. But I think the reason why I got them in 10-6, because they got a tough schedule, dude. They got to face the Saints. Obviously I got the Saints winning that game. They got to face the Chargers, the Chiefs, and then even though with no Andrew Luck, they got to face the Colts on the road. And this isn't in the first 7 weeks of the season. And Bill O'Brien, I hope he finds a way to make this work, man. If he doesn't, oh man, Jacksonville just might threaten to win that division, man. And O'Brien, his job just might be on the line this year. But I got the Texans in a very close race in the AFC South.
Okay.
Well, with that being said, I would like to welcome back Mr. Boxoffice.
Oh, my God.
Well, after the Andrew Luck news this week, I'm Mr. Sadbox.
Oh, wow.
I don't even want to be on the
down.
show. I'm pissed off. I'm not happy. And Keel, you falling off. Tell me how I'm on vacation. I just got back from Europe. I'm back in the States, but I'm in South Carolina on the beach. It's my second vacation. I deserve it. And I told Keel I can make time for the Andrew Luck topic, and y'all already did the topic. I mean, I don't know what Keel doing. What are you doing?
Don't blame that on me.
No.
Whose fault is it?
Your fault.
Okay. Well, Yvonne, I want to say welcome back. Your stories on Instagram was very entertaining. I enjoyed seeing the views. I know I give you a hard time, but I know you're hurt right now. I lived through the last 2 years of the Saints in the playoffs, and I know this has to compare to that because I was devastated if this happened.
Okay, so before we go to your AFC South predictions, give me your reaction about the Andrew Luck retirement. What was your first reaction when you heard it?
Well, first off, right after I finish, I wanna hear your thoughts because I'm very interested. But first off, I was in Europe. I was back home. I was in Croatia. I was sitting down with my cousin, just talking normal stuff, having a beer, whatever. And I look down on my phone and I get a notification from ESPN saying Andrew Luck, blah, 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 announces retirement. So as soon as I read Andrew Luck, before I could even read the rest, I was thinking, okay, he's either going to miss some time and they're breaking that news, or something like he's going to be ready to start week 1. Something along those lines. When I read retirement, I can't describe the feeling I felt because I was in shock. I think I've never been more shocked watching sports or hearing a sports breaking news like that. I was hurt and I just felt stung. I just felt it was hurt. I was hurt. I don't know how else to describe it. And I was immediately hopping on Twitter, trying to figure out, what happened. And then I saw the clip of and by the way, guys, I've seen 0 preseason because I've been in Europe the whole preseason. I'm 6 hours ahead when I'm in Europe. I haven't had even time to even watch highlights, but I do know Andrew Luck hasn't played a snap. And so when I hear the news, I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw how the fans booed him. And I have to say, I'm with the fans. I'm okay with the booing. No, I'm okay. Because at the end of the day, when you're a fan, all you care about is winning. It's just that simple. I don't care. We don't know these guys personally. All we know is how they play when they wear our jersey. And I'm okay with the booing because, bruh, he quit on us. It's just that simple. I understand he's doing what's best for him, and now that he's retired, he's going to have that opportunity to do what's best for him. But I'm sorry. You're 29 years old. You're in the middle of your prime. You have 10 years left if you continue playing. I understand all the injuries and everything, but the Colts have built around you the last 2 years. We've done a great job. And the worst part is you quit on us 2 weeks before the season. You put us in a bad position. You didn't quit right after the season. You quit on us 2 weeks before the season, and now we're scrambling out of nowhere. This hurts, and us fans are emotional. We pay those tickets to watch you. Do you think Andrew Luck would be upset with us if we didn't show up to the games when he is playing? Of course. Just like we're upset now that you quit on us. Look, I've always said being a fan is about not being stupid and thinking you're going to win every game. Being a fan is being realistic. And if I can cheer on you and be your best friend and your biggest fan when you're playing, I can be your biggest critic as well when you're not doing so well. So my thing is he quit on us. It's just that simple. He quit on us. I understand he's doing best for himself, and that's cool. Now you get that time, but right now you quit on us, and I'm in shock. I was maybe 1 or 2 years old when Michael Jordan retired from the Bulls to go play baseball. I'm sure that was shocking, but in my lifetime, this is the most shocking thing I've ever experienced as a fan. True, you said about the Saints losing in the playoffs the last 2 years and the way they lost. I think this is worse. So I've seen the Pistons win a title. I've seen them lose a title. The losing title sucked. I've seen Texas win the title. I've seen Texas lose the title. When they lost the title, that thing sucked. I've seen the Colts win a Super Bowl. I've seen them lose a Super Bowl. When they lost, it sucked. I saw Croatia get to the World Cup final and lose in the final, and that sucked. But at the same time, I know we got there, and we're going to be back again fighting for it. With Andrew Luck, he just quit on us in the middle of our in his prime, right when we were Super Bowl contenders. I think, True, you had him in the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago when we talked. He quit on us, and it is what it is. I can't. This is number one in sports history to me. The most shocking thing and the worst thing I've ever felt as a fan. This is terrible. Like this is awful. I don't know how else to describe. I still can't believe it's real. I still can't believe that in 2 weeks the season starts and Andrew Luck will not be our quarterback, not just for this year, but for the next 10 years, how we planned and how I thought in my head this whole time. And it sucks, and it is what it is. The sooner we accept it, the better. But I'm totally fine with the fans booing him because he quit on us. It's just that simple. He quit.
Yep, he quit.
Shaking my head. I can't believe he was going to say something like that about Andrew Luck.
He quit.
We're talking Andrew Luck. Are you kidding me?
I agree. When he's playing, he's one of the best. But he doesn't want to play. He's not mentally tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough joking. Okay, so I do agree with you as far as it being one of the most shocking things. I know you said it's the most shocking thing in your lifetime.
You lived a Michael Jordan retirement. I want to say that's probably as shocking, right?
Yeah,
and I actually want you to describe that. Was the Michael Jordan thing out of nowhere, like Andrew Luck, or did you hear rumors leading up? Because there was no rumors about Andrew Luck retiring up until literally when the news broke.
There was only rumors towards his injury. That was the only thing that came out.
Yeah, I mean, this like I told you earlier. I brought up Barry Sanders. I brought up Michael Jordan. Barry Sanders almost rushed for 1,500 yards and then just instantly retired. He just retired. And people were like, what? You're in your prime. What are you doing? Michael Jordan won 3 championships and was like, I've accomplished everything in basketball. I'm walking away from the sport. I'm like, what? He's walking away? Like, are you serious right now? So I can't put Andrew Luck stuff number one, but it's definitely in that mix because, like you said, like I told you, retirement. You're talking about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the season starts, and you just basically played that team, bro. You played them. Like, I know. Hopefully he's been talking hopefully it's going to always say locker room talk stays in the locker room. I hope that he's told his team this way before this actually broke news. Because if he didn't, that's tough. Now I would have said
I watched the Chris Ballard, Frank Wright, and Jim Irsay interview. They said he told them on Monday that he's thinking about retirement, and he quit officially Saturday. So, I mean, he told them, 6 days, there's no difference. The draft had already passed, free agency's passed, everything's passed. They're preparing for the season.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree with you on it might be the most shocking thing. It's up there for sure. Keo thinks it's outside the top 10. I don't even know what the hell Keo's talking about. That's just crazy. But nonetheless, outside of that, I don't agree with you. I don't agree that Indianapolis fans should have booed him. I think that's wrong because I get what you're saying, that you have the right to boo him and you cheer for him, so you have the right. But if you think about it, all the things Andrew Luck has done, and I know he doesn't want a Super Bowl. I get it. He doesn't want a Super Bowl for the coach. But this dude has been injured time after time and has came back. And he's given it his all. And I don't think that's right for somebody to boo him or his fans to boo him when he's given everything to Indianapolis except for the Super Bowl. He's gotten out to the AFC Championship game with little or no talent around him, getting beat up in the pocket, and yet still delivered. And the reason why I have no issue with him retiring, even though I do think it sucks, and I'm the one that called him a Hall of Famer before he ever played a down in the NFL, is because, and Yvonne, you could definitely attest to this, and I know Keo can as well, because one thing about us three that's on the phone, for everybody out there, we love our family. We truly love our family. And there's nothing, not even sports, that can trump our family. And when I heard him say, I want to be able to pick up my children, or my kid, or if it was his daughter, and I want to be able to live a life with my wife, I gotta respect that. There's no other way. And I love Andrew Luck. I'm not a Colts fan. I give Yvonne a hard time. But like I told you, I loved Andrew Luck ever since I seen him at Stanford. I thought he was box office. I thought he was the real deal. I came on here and argued with Justin and Duke and different people about he's better than RG3. He's better than Russell Wilson. It's not even close. It's laughable to even compare him to those guys. And I can't knock him. Family trumps football, and I love football. I love sports, but there's no way I would choose sports over my family. No way. And I have to respect that, so that's why I say I don't have no issue with him retiring. If he feels that he's that beat up, and we know he's been beat up in the past, I'm kudos to him, as I want his wife to enjoy his next 50 to 100 years. I hope he lives a long time. And his children to be able to have their dad around and pick him up and love him and hug him, because there's nothing, not even a Super Bowl title, for me, that would replace me picking up my daughter and telling how much I love her and care for her. You just beat up, man, and at this point we have to respect his decision.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, as much as I hate to agree with you, I do agree with him. I just didn't like the fact how, the Colts fans booed him, off of him retiring. I mean, I understand it's, 2 weeks before the season starts, and then you come and announce this. So I was like, okay, I understand that. But booing him, I felt like, because this dude, he, invested his time with his blood, sweat, and tears, man. And before him, it was Peyton Manning, man, and he did the best he could of his ability to deliver you Colts fans something special, man. And to some Colts fans, I don't know about you, Yvonne, but he made them forget about Peyton Manning, because there was a time Peyton Manning was that dude, that icon, the guy that they always remember as a Colt. But once he came and he showed that he delivered, people forgot about Peyton Manning. People just said, "Oh yeah, forget Peyton. We got Andrew Luck now. He's gonna take us to the promised land." And I just felt like it wasn't right for Colts fans to boo him like that after the time he put in and all the work that he did for the Colts organization.
I mean, that's fair. I understand y'all's side too, but I don't know, bro. That sucks. That sucked. That was the worst feeling I've ever felt as a fan. I don't know if I'll ever feel that way as a fan ever again. I still, like I said, I still can't believe it's true. Like, there's no way. I thought it was a nightmare. When I went to sleep that night, bro, I said, bro, I hope this shit is a nightmare, because there's no way, and here we are. What are the chances he comes back in y'all's mind?
I think there's a chance he comes back. I think there is a chance. I think that right now he made an emotional decision. He probably, like you said, he probably went to pick up, I think it was his daughter, and he couldn't pick her up. And I think that he had a real conversation with his wife, and she was like, look, I don't want you to end up like some of those guys that we see. And unfortunately, that's what we see in the NFL, a lot of head injuries. And dudes do things when they get older in their age. And his wife probably had a serious conversation with him. Look, you're 29, we're financially stable, whether they let us keep the money or not. Andrew Luck graduated from Stanford. He's a very smart guy. He's actually really good, I think, for TV. I can see him being a coach or a commentator. He's very intelligent. They're not hurting for money. So is there a chance he comes back? If he's healthy, I think he may come back. But right now, Andrew Luck just got to get his injuries right, I believe. And if that happens, that he does come back, and you're happy. And I want to say this one thing. I've actually been knowing Yvonne for a long time, him and Kia. I've been knowing these guys since, like he brought up, the Colts losing the Super Bowl to the Saints. Now, mind you, I'm a Saints fan, so he knew that if there's any team he doesn't want to lose to, it's the Saints in the Super Bowl. and I was, I just recently, I heard Yvonne say, man, when Croatia lost the World Cup, he was hurt. He was hurt by it. So when he tells you that this is the most hurt he's ever been, it means something right now, people. I was there when Keo and USC lost to Texas. I know that hurt him. So we've been friends for a long time. And for Yvonne to say that, man, that's crazy. That is crazy.
By far hurts the most. By far. By far. It's not even close anymore. That one stung.
So Yvonne, this goes to our next topic. So we discussed this earlier. So are you saying this is the most shocking sports moment ever for you?
By far.
The years that you cover sports? Okay. I understand that. I understand where you're coming from, because for you being, a Colts fan and, you being excited for your team because they're possibly going to take it to the next level, and then your franchise quarterback goes and says, hey, I'm going to call it quits. So I definitely understand it being the most shocking sports moment. For me, it just didn't hit me like that. That's why I don't have it up there like that.
Well, Keo, what is your most shocking sports moment?
Well, I brought it up earlier. It was true. So there's a couple that I brought up. I mentioned about the. I remember when the Pistons and the Pacers, that huge brawl that broke out. Because I seen fights in basketball. I just didn't see a fight like that. Not just players getting involved, fans getting involved also. So that was like a huge shocking moment to me. With me being a huge Michael Vick fan, and then especially following him since Virginia Tech, when I heard about that dog fighting situation, that shocked me also. And I'll even bring up Ronda Rousey also, man, because at one time she was the baddest woman on the planet. She was untouchable. She was beating opponents like less than a minute. And then for her to get beat down like that by Holly Holm, that was a huge shocking moment for me also in sports also. So I think those are the shocking moments. I mean, there's plenty of more that I got, but those are the ones that in my head right now that I'll always remember.
Yeah, those are up there, but those just didn't shock me like this did. And I don't think even if I wasn't a Colts fan, I think this would be really definitely at least top 3 to me, because I didn't see this no way. And I actually want to mention this as well. While me being a Colts fan, bro, I watch every Andrew Luck and Chris Ballard interview. Like any Chris Ballard and Andrew Luck interview, especially in the last couple of years. And I remember last year when he was coming back off that shoulder, he was getting interviewed, and they were asking about the thoughts and what he had to go through. And he actually did mention retirement. He was like, man, at times I had moments where I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to play anymore. And because the shoulder was such a long repair and long rehab, and that he made it through that, I was like, man, if he made it through that, there's no way, he's going to retire off of anything else, because that I thought was the hardest thing to get through. And here he is this year. As soon as he got another injury, he was out the door. And in terms of him coming back, I'll say it's 75% to 25% that he won't come back, because it tells me that he doesn't have patience for the injuries anymore. He just doesn't have patience for it anymore. The minute it happened, he was out the door, and that's why I think 75% that he's out the door. And if he never comes back again, I think it will be one of the saddest and most tragic sports stories in my mind, because he was on the way to a Hall of Fame career. I think we all sensed a Super Bowl for the Colts coming, and I think a lot of people just sensed, this career coming for him where we still have not seen, and we knew he was headed in that direction. And I think it will be one of the saddest things ever. And it's sad because Andrew Luck will now officially go down as a bust, and it wasn't because he didn't perform. He did perform. Oh. I think he's going to go down as a bust because he retired early. Because he.
Wow.
Right, but it's not because he didn't perform. He has the numbers and everything for the first 6 seasons. I think he's going to go down as a bust when you look at it at the end of the day, just because he didn't continue.
No, I disagree with that too. I mean, we disagree on everything. There's no way somebody can call him a bust, in my opinion. Did he ever win a Super Bowl? Did he ever live up to the hype? No, maybe not, because he didn't win a Super Bowl. We all thought he was. And did he ever become a Hall of Famer? No. But even with that all being said, when the Colts had him in the lineup, they were a playoff team every year, in contention every year, a few plays away in some games to possibly go further. I can't call him a bust. A bust to me is Jamarcus Russell. A bust to me is Ryan Leaf. He's not that. This guy.
Well, me either. I just think the media and the public will see him as a bust down the line just because he didn't continue. But was his play a bust? Hell no.
With me, like I told, if you ask me, let's just say we're old men, and let's just say one of our kids go to the NFL and they're like, man, Dad, I got drafted to the Colts. They said that they talk about Johnny Unitas, they talk about Peyton Manning, but who's this Andrew Luck guy? I would say son or grandson or nephew or whatever it is that you are to me. I would say there was this other guy that played basketball, and his name was Penny Hardaway, and he was special. But he got some injuries that just derailed his playing career. And to me, Andrew, that's just Penny Hardaway of football. It's just Penny Hardaway kept playing, and he didn't want to give up basketball, but he was never Penny Hardaway that we saw and we loved. Kind of like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose at least hit 50 another time. Penny Hardaway was never that guy again. But that's the guy I think of. Penny Hardaway was so special. So special. People thought he was going to be the best player in the league the year he knocked out Michael Jordan and the Bulls. They were like, 5 years from now, 10 years, he's really going to win a championship. They're going to be a dynasty. They're going to be that good. And you never just saw it again. Once they traded Shaq, he had the knee injury. It was over with. And that's how I view Andrew Luck. Dude was supposed to be a Hall of Famer. Dude was supposed to be one of the greatest of all time, win 2 Super Bowls, and unfortunately got hurt. But I'm not going to call him a bust, nor am I calling Penny Hardaway a bust. They just got a lot of injuries, and he just never could live up to the hype. But it's not bust.
All right. We don't have that much time on the show left. So, Yvonne, one last thing. before we close it out on our Colts topic and Andrew Luck, do you feel like there's somebody to blame and solely responsible for Luck's early retirement?
Yeah, it's definitely Chuck Pagano and Ryan Grigson. I think everybody would tell you that. I mean, those two goofballs let Andrew Luck get beat up like nobody. He had the worst offensive line in the NFL for years. And even with that, every year he managed to get to 11-5 and got to the AFC title game and losing to the Patriots, which is no shame because they just beat everybody. That's how good Andrew Luck was. He kept them around no matter how bad the rest of his team was. And that's why I feel bad for Chris Ballard. Chris Ballard is one of the best GMs in the NFL, and he was building great around Andrew Luck. In just a year, he went from the most sacked quarterback in league to the least sacked quarterback in league, all because he drafted two offensive linemen in the draft, and as well as other pieces. I feel bad for Chris Ballard. This is bad timing because he knew what he was doing, and it was just too late for him to finally get a crack at it now that Andrew Luck is gone. I also want to add this. I feel bad for guys like Devin Funchess and Justin Houston because I know they signed to the Colts because they thought we were a contender because of Andrew Luck. Now that Andrew Luck's gone, we're no contender. We're not even a playoff team. You can forget about it. The Colts are not going to the playoffs. Without Andrew Luck, we are not even a playoff team. That's how big of a loss this is. And I also want to say this. If Andrew Luck retired right after last season, there's, I think, a huge chance that Nick Foles is an Indianapolis Colt right now because he won the Super Bowl with Frank Reich as his offensive coordinator. He would have seen the talent we have around him, and we probably would have signed him to a 2-3 year deal. I think that everything's different if Andrew Luck retired early. Because of him retiring this late and putting him in this late of a position, I feel bad for Chris Ballard because he doesn't deserve any of this. Frank Reich, same thing. They don't deserve any of this. It's all because of Chuck Pagano and Ryan Grigson. And those guys, I just cannot stand.
I agree.
And they're the ones to blame. It's just that simple.
I agree. Absolutely right.
You didn't blame Pagano. You didn't blame.
Well, they're actually part of management. But Yvonne, I did point the finger to Jim Irsay though because
Well, that's fine. That's the same thing because he hired them.
Yep, exactly. True. Go ahead, True. I know you want something to say. Go ahead, Mr. Negative.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm not going to rebuttal it right now because I want to get through the topics because I really want to talk about college football because I'm super excited about this week. But if I can go back and listen to the show, and if you would like to talk to me after the show, we can definitely talk about it because I don't agree with that. But we'll talk about that another time.
All right. Let's get it on the road. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So before we continue,
Yvonne didn't give his prediction for the AFC South.
No, and that's what I was about to do after you rudely interrupted me. Yvonne, so Yvonne, me and True have the Texans coming out of the division. AFC South, who's winning it?
I want to hear what y'all have for the Colts. Where did y'all have them with Andrew Luck, and where do y'all have them now, record-wise?
Well, I'll go first. I have them coming in last now. That's how much Andrew Luck means to me. I had them 6-10 right now without Andrew Luck. With Andrew Luck, I think he's good for a minimum of 6 wins. So that's 12 right there. So I have them probably about 12-4, 11-5 with Andrew Luck and winning the division.
Well, I'm not going to disrespect the Colts like that because despite, even though, it's a huge, it's a huge loss that they took and a huge hit that they took with the loss of Andrew Luck. I got the Colts finishing in third in this division, and I got them finishing 8-8. I think this team is going to be – you'll see a lot of moments, and you'll see some flashes and excitements at times. I just think it's going to be too inconsistent for this team to, to win this division because they still got a good team, man. They got a lot of skilled players on the offensive side, man. They did really good in the draft also, not just free agency, adding bunches. They still got those 2 tight ends. They drafted Paris Campbell. Frank Reich's a really great coach, and I'm pretty sure he's going to find a way to adjust and roll with Jacoby Brissett. And Brissett has taken majority of the snaps throughout this preseason camp. And he has chemistry with these guys, man. And, I think they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder and prove something to everybody out there because everybody in the league, including, the fans out there and the public media, they're counting the Colts out. They say, you guys are done. You guys ain't nothing without Andrew Luck. But I still feel like they could still be a subpar 500 team. I think they could be a subpar 500 team. And they got a nice defense, man. Come on now, man. Let's not disrespect Darius Leonard. Come on, man. What are we doing right now, man? It's 2019. Let's go.
Okay, I've never seen somebody hype up an 8-8 team like that.
Exactly.
So anyways, I'm actually in the middle of you two guys. I think the Colts will go 7-9. I think the Colts with Andrew Luck are 11-5 and 12-4. Without him, we're 6-10, 7-9, 8-8. If a miracle happens, we're not a playoff team. I've lost all hope. I could care less about the Colts this season in terms of their hopes. We have no hope. I'm a very realistic fan. We have no hope. For once in my life, I'm going to care more about fantasy football than the Colts this year. This is just bad. The Colts and the Jags will tie at 7-9 for last place. The Tennessee Titans will go 9-7, and the Houston Texans will win the division at 10-6. I think that if the Houston Texans lose Jadeveon Clowney, that's going to be a big loss. However, I do think that they still have the most offensive talent in this division by far. And I think that's what's going to hold them over the top. I think Will Fuller coming back healthy, and Will Fuller eventually has to play a full season. It just eventually has to happen. And I think this is the year you have the best receiver in the league, DeAndre Hopkins. Deshaun Watson will be better because they're finally helping him out with that offensive line, even though it's still not perfect. But the Texans caught a huge break. They benefit big time with Andrew Luck gone. The Titans benefit big time because Andrew Luck never lost to the Titans. And the Jags benefit even a little bit. So the Texans are the best team in this division. They're going to win this division, but it's sad because the Colts had this division on lock if Andrew Luck was playing.
We all see it pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Houston's going to win the division. You and I like Tennessee more than Keo does, but me and Keo like Jacksonville more than you do.
Man.
I have Tennessee and Jacksonville finishing the exact same record, but I have Jacksonville over them just by division win.
Oh, all right. Now let's go to the most competitive division, the AFC East. Let's go.
Oh my God! Are you
kidding? Are you picking the Jets? The floor is yours.
No. Well, this division gives me a headache. This division has gave me a headache for a decade now because nothing's ever changed. and nothing will ever change. The New England Patriots schedule is pathetic. It's very easy if you go through it. They're going to go 12-4, and they're going to win this division. The Jets will go 9-7. I do think the Jets will be much more improved. I think they're actually building something nice. I like Adam Gase. I like him as an offensive mind. I think the addition of Le'Veon will help them. I like the couple additions on defense like C.J. Mosley. I think they just need to find the number one true receiver, and I think the Jets will be on their way. The Dolphins will be the worst team in the NFL. They're going to go 3-13. They're going to go 3-13. They're going to be bad. They're going to have the number one pick in the NFL draft, and they're going to probably pick Tua or Jake Fromm or Justin Hubert. They're going to be bad. I just do not see the Dolphins being very good at all. And then the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills will be the Buffalo Bills. They're going to be 6-10, 7-9, 8-8 if a miracle happens. It's just that easy. The Bills, come on, man. The Bills. Nothing's ever going on with the Bills. They never get better. You know, I'm depressed about being a Colts fan, but right now. But I mean, the Colts are like we're like a 5-star hotel, and the Bills are like a 2-star. They just never get better. They just always do the same. And I hate to be disrespectful, but come on, the Bills in my lifetime haven't done anything. Like it's been bad. It's been bad. I was born right after their 4 Super Bowl losses.
And Doug Flutie.
Oh, no, just not great at all. And like I said, the Patriots, man, they're going to run away with this division, 12-4. I think that even if Tom Brady was out, they'd win this division. I truly do.
Oh,
because that's how good Bill Belichick is, and that's how bad this division is. So, like I said, Patriots will win it. Jets could be a wild card team. I have to make my predictions very soon. Everything's changed now that the Colts are not going to make it. I don't know if I have the Jets making it as a wild card. I'll figure that out, but I have them at 9-7. The Bills 6-10, and the Dolphins being the worst team in the NFL, 3-13, maybe 4-12.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to take long. Yvonne and I have it the exact same as far as in the order that he has it. But I think the division is going to be closer than Yvonne. I don't think the Patriots are going to run away with the division. I think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to go 11-5 and win the division. I do think the Jets will be around that 9-7 range. They will be in the playoffs. They will be possibly in the playoffs. I'm not going to say in the playoffs for sure. Could they get to 10 wins? Possibly. I like the Jets. At first, I did not like the Jets, and I don't know what it was. Maybe me watching a little bit of preseason games with them. It's just something about their swag I like a little bit. They seem like they want to play for one another, so the Jets have grown on me. I do think the Bills will be right below the Jets, though, if not exactly the same. The Bills' defense is nasty. They're nasty on defense. They got Frank Gore and Shady McCarthy, who are old, but then they just drafted the little young running back. I forgot his name, slipped my mind that fast. And I just had a draft yesterday, and I saw his name on there. People were drafting him on all these players to draft. But I think Josh Allen takes his next step. I like Josh Allen. I mean, you guys know. When they're coming third, I'll say 8-8. And, of course, I'm with Yvonne on this. They will be the worst team in the league, and that's the Miami Dolphins. If not, the only team that will challenge you, and I know Yvonne's going to get sniped. Kill going to get mad. I got Oakland Raiders because they'll be trash as well.
Wow, you really think Oakland will be that bad?
Oakland is terrible to me.
Okay, that's very interesting because I don't know what to think of Oakland.
That's the problem because we don't know what to think. I think that's the problem.
I think they're an average team. I think they're an average team. I don't think they're the worst team.
Gio thinks that they have a chance to dethrone the Chiefs in that division. They're coming in second.
Well, that's because Gio likes flashiness. He likes anything flashy.
All right. Now it's time to bring some clarity back on the show. So as far as the AFC East goes, I really like the rookie coach Brian Flores, man. He brings positive energy to the team. I think I think there's a chance that he could change that atmosphere around in the Miami organization. And they got talent on both sides of the ball, especially on the offensive and defensive lines, man. Who?
I can't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody.
So hold on, let me finish. So he does have a huge quarterback option to make a decision on between Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen. But with that being said, I got them 3-13, man.
I actually like that, Keo. I actually like that. Keo's new theory on this show is hyping up teams that are bad. I really like that.
It's a rookie coach, a young team. You know, he doesn't know who the quarterback's going to be. So I think they're going to struggle throughout the season, man. 3-13. So let's go to the
That's the
Buffalo
funniest
Bills.
thing. I think that's the funniest thing I've heard on the show in a long, long time. He hyped them up and he said, with that being said, they'll be 3-13.
So,
all right, go ahead, Keo.
So with the Bills, they did improve their offensive line. They have some decent skill positions. They got a second-year quarterback, Josh Allen. I'm not high on them. They got that first-round guy, the tackle, Ed Oliver. I think it's a decent selection for them, but I think this team is going to struggle also, man. They got running backs that they don't have an idea what's going to happen with these running backs. With Frank Gore, they got the young kid Singletary.
That's his name. I couldn't think of his name. Singletary. You're right.
Yeah. They added my dog Cole Beasley. They also added and then LaShawn McCoy's still there. I honestly think he should get traded, but I think the Bills they got. I give them a 6-10 record, finishing in third place, and then in second, obviously I got the Jets. I think the addition with Le'Veon Bell is going to help Sam Darnold a lot, open some play action for the game. They added Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, definitely boost up that front seven over there. And I think this team is going to be, probably an 8-8 team. I think they'll win at times, but then they'll lose like in these big blowout games. So I got the Jets at 8-8, and last but not least, the New England Patriots. Obviously, we know that Rob Gronkowski's no longer there. He retired. They don't have Trey Flowers. There's the situation with Patrick Chung. But they still got Brady, Josh McDaniels, Tom Brady, and I think the receiving corps could be one of the best in the league, depending how healthy Demaryius Thomas is. As long as Josh Gordon stays out of trouble, you got the security blanket with Julian Edelman, and then you got the running backs to play with James White and Sony Michel. So I think the New England Patriots, they could possibly go 13-3 because the schedule definitely favors them, and they play majority of their divisional opponents really early. So huge advantage for them. So I got them 13-3. to win the division, and more than likely to get a first-round bye.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, because I know we're talking about the Dolphins for a second. I think the Dolphins should go with Josh Rosen. Point blank, period. I don't even see why they would entertain Fitzpatrick, because my thing is, let's see what you got. You're not going to win a lot of games this year. Let's see if you can even compete. If you're not going to compete with Josh Rosen, then you have to move on from him. But I would at least give him the opportunity to start. If he can't beat out Fitzpatrick, come on, man. Why you traded for him? I just want to know who you think the Dolphins should start.
I'm with True on this. It should definitely be Rosen. You traded for him. We already know what Fitzpatrick looks like and how he plays and all that. Rosen should be the starter. You need to see what you have there. Anybody with their right mind knows the Dolphins are not a good team. So before you might possibly need a quarterback in next year's draft. So see what you have out of Rosen. See if you like what you can build, if you can build with him. I feel bad for Rosen because I said on the show I didn't like that he ended up in Miami. I didn't like the fit because I feel bad. I don't know why karma's hitting Josh Rosen so bad, but he got put in a situation in Arizona where they just didn't want him. They didn't want him immediately with the second head coach, Kingsbury. They wanted to let him go. And not to mention they had one of the worst offensive lines last year in his rookie year, and I thought he showed some flashes. And then he gets let go to Miami now, where I don't like this fit either. He's not around any special weapons. I felt like he had better weapons in Arizona, and I don't know if it's going to last. I think the best situation for Rosen would have been if he ended up in L.A. Behind Rivers and watched him for the last few years and replaced him. And he's an L.A. guy. So I don't like the fit, and I'm not sure it's going to work, but the only way you're going to find out is if you play him. I would start Rosen from day one, even though I'm hearing reports it's going to be Fitzpatrick, and I think that's just a mistake. I don't get that. I don't understand that whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm going with Rosen. They basically traded for him, young talent, and I think he deserves to at least be the starter, man. So and they got some decent skilled players that he could play with and on the offensive side. So I'm going with Josh Rosen.
Okay. Just wanted to get y'all take.
Watch out for Jakeem Grant. Ooh. All right. With that being said, that ends our predictions for. We basically broke down throughout this month and last month all the divisions in the NFL. Next week, we'll pick our playoff teams, who goes to the Super Bowl, who wins it, who wins MVP, and all that nice stuff for next week. With that being said, we're going to move on over to college football, where the season kicked off last week between Florida and Miami. Obviously, it was an interesting game. The game got taken away by the Andrew Luck announcement. But after watching this game, man, what did you take away from this game after this Florida and Miami game?
Hey, Clyde, if you don't mind, can I just go first? Because I'm not going to be long.
Go ahead.
Neither team is a top 10 team. Neither team is that good. I'm not going to take long because I shout out to my boy, Coach Burnett. He's our head football coach at the school. He said Florida's going to finish in the top 10, Miami's going to finish in the top 10, and Miami might play for the national championship. Are you kidding me? That should be my are you kidding me? But if you guys knew who he was, I would make that my are you kidding me? These teams are both not that good to me. Miami has quarterback issues, and I just do not like Florida's play calling at all. And that's just the way I see it. I think both teams are going to lose at least 3 games, and they're not going to be top 10 teams, and they're going to be basically just an average team in college football. That quick. Go ahead, Yvonne.
All right. Well, I didn't watch the game. Like I said, I was in Europe, and I was following the game on my phone. Then I got the Andrew Luck notification. I could have cared less after that game, after I saw that notification. But of course, I came back to the States. I watched the highlights, and man, was that an ugly game. At least from the highlights I watched, no team could do anything offensively. I don't know how Miami was even in that game. They got sacked 10 times. And somehow it still came down to the last minute. I get what you're saying, True, about the play calling. Maybe it's just week one. And there's a lot of rust. But I actually like Dan Mullen as the offensive coordinator. Obviously, he's the head coach, but I think he calls the plays for Florida. I just don't like Felipe Franks. I don't think he's anything great at quarterback. I like Florida's defense, though. I think Florida's defense will keep them in a lot of games in the SEC. And I think Florida will probably end up 9-3. I think that they're improving and they're getting better. I don't like the direction Miami set it in. I don't like where they've been last 20 years. They just seem to never get better. There's a lot of hype there because everybody wants to see them reach what they used to be. However, they're not showing me any signs that it's going to happen that way. But we'll see. I don't think Miami obviously I picked Florida to win that game, and I was right, but I don't think Miami is even a 9-3 team yet. We'll see. But I think Florida's defense will keep them in a lot of SEC games, to be honest.
Well, before Keel goes, I just want to say this. The reason, the defensive front, yeah, but I think Miami's offensive line was not that good. And so they got 10 sacks, and their quarterback holds onto the ball way too long. But
yeah, that's for sure.
Their defense makes a lot of bonehead. Dude, like you said, there's no reason for Miami to be in the game.
That is true.
Penalty after penalty, Florida kept getting penalties. And then they want to set up and act like they didn't have the pass interference. Yeah, you passed it. You grabbed the dude. How are you? Dan Mullen's cool, but I feel like he's running the same stuff he was running 10 years ago. It's time to be more innovative. It's not fooling nobody. So, yeah, they broke a couple of things in the game, but I don't think that's going to work versus the Georgias of the world, the Auburns or the LSUs. Not Georgia. Well, we know how good Georgia is. Auburn's defensive line is nasty. So I just don't see it. I don't see that working in the SEC. I think they lose at least 3 games, if not 4.
Yeah, one thing I take away in this game is the game was really messy, man. A lot of turnovers, a lot of penalties. One thing that I saw in that game, the Gators, they committed 2 pass interference penalties on two pass interference penalties, and I think that could have just ended the game for good. And I think it was just a very sloppy game by both teams, and I just think they need to clean it up. I mean, I do see that, Florida is actually trying to take chances throwing the ball now, so I did like that. But besides that, I think both teams need to clean it up. Miami with the quarterback play also, so I won't be surprised if they try to switch quarterback, maybe both Tate Martell. So I'll just leave it at that. So we go to this week in college football where everybody plays this week. And the game starts on the season. Some of the games play on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's Sunday's games also. So week 2 in college football, man. What are you guys looking forward to the most
Come on, man. Where you are? I'm going to let you go, Yvonne. I already know what we're all about.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to Sam Ellinger and the Texas Longhorns. Woo-hoo! Sam Ellinger isn't quitting on my Longhorns. Woo-hoo! I'm ready for some college football. Woo-hoo! And then next week we've got Texas and LSU. Woo-hoo! So I'm excited for the season. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I hope it's unpredictable. College football always surprises us. When we finally think we know what's going to happen, they always seem to surprise us. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the season. Honestly, what I'm looking forward to most is seeing is just seeing Clemson. I honestly just can't wait to see their offense. True, I saw you on Facebook put Justin Ross. Justin Ross is a freaking beast. Don't sleep on T. Higgins either. T. Higgins is nice. The Travis Etienne, their running back, Trevor Lawrence. It's crazy because let's say, because I know True and I both have Clemson win it all. That would mean that, let's say that did happen, and that probably would mean Clemson went undefeated. Trevor Lawrence would have gone undefeated his first 2 years in college. That would be crazy. That would be the most insane thing ever.
I never even thought about that. I'm changing my Heisman pick.
I mean, imagine if he was undefeated and had a win against Alabama on there as well. There's nothing you can say. And he's my Heisman winner. So if I'm looking forward to anything, it's that Clemson offense and Trevor Lawrence. I want to see, can they take it another level? Because we all know Clemson gets bored in the regular season sometimes. They get bored, and they play ACC games against like NC State, Syracuse, and Louisville a little too close at times to make you uncomfortable if you're a Clemson fan. And by the way, I'm in South Carolina right now, so all I have to say is go Tigers. but no, I want to see this offense and see if they can take it another notch. I want to see, are they going to get bored? Are they going to get what's the right word? Are they going to get content with last year? So I'm excited to really watch Clemson and see how hungry they continue to be if they are still that hungry.
Well, I love that. I love what you just said. What we're looking forward to, because I am looking forward to Clemson. I looked at the question different, but we're talking about the year at all, the whole year in general. This upcoming week, I'm gonna go a different route because obviously Clemson is one, but I'm looking forward to seeing if Alabama finally gets dethroned in the SEC. I think they are getting dethroned this year. I think the Georgia Bulldogs will win the SEC. I think the Georgia Bulldogs will be playing for the national championship. I think the Georgia Bulldogs will give Clemson all they can handle in that national championship game. I have Jake Fromm winning the Heisman, and I'm pretty good at this Heisman thing for everybody out there. But now Yvonne got me thinking because if Trevor Lawrence goes undefeated 2 straight years, I don't see how you don't give him the Heisman. I never even thought of it like that. I just figured if Jake Fromm does go undefeated in the SEC and wins the SEC championship game, I just don't see how they wouldn't give it to him. It's not because I think he's a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. I just think they will look at his situation and be like, the SEC is much tougher than the ACC, and he did what he did. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing somebody can dethrone Alabama in the SEC because Alabama has basically owned this conference ever since, in my opinion, the last, 10 years? Yeah, Auburn's won a couple of times. LSU hasn't beat them at all. Texas A&M beat them a couple of times, or one time. Ole Miss, I think, pulled it off one time. But for the most part, we know who runs that show in the SEC. And I'm looking forward to seeing if they can finally be dethroned.
Well, you're wrong. But with that being said, what I'm looking forward to the most is I feel like this year is going to be the year of the quarterbacks because you got the overhyped guys like like Trevor Lawrence, Tua. Obviously, people want to throw in Jalen Hurts in there, but we got to watch out for Justin Herbert, man. That's one bad, phenomenal, sensational player to look out for. And I can't wait for the game, a spotlight game against, the SEC. Is a rematch from 2010 when Cam Newton tore Oregon apart in the BCS title game. So I'm looking forward to that game especially.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, I'm excited, and so is everybody else. It's time to go to our thing that we do the most, our college football picks. So we're going to start out with the first game. Our first game that we are picking, we will be picking, let's see, and we'll start the season off with Ole Miss versus Memphis.
Okay, if I remember correctly, I believe these teams played either last year or the year before, and Memphis beat them. It was a high-scoring game. I don't have a computer next to me to look it up when it was exactly, but I want to say it was 44-41. And I'm actually rolling with the Memphis Tigers again. I'm not sold on Ole Miss yet. They have to show me. They don't have a quarterback that I believe in. They had Shea Patterson before he transferred to Michigan. Ole Miss has to show me that they can get back to Ole Miss that were contenders and challenged Alabama a couple years ago. And I like Memphis scoring. They know how to score at Memphis, and I'm going to go with Memphis.
Okay, let me ask you something, Gio. Where is the game being played at?
It'll be in Memphis. Memphis.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go with Memphis.
That's another reason I went with Memphis.
Yeah, it's in Memphis. I know a lot of experts are picking Ole Miss to have a terrible record this year. I was actually going to take Ole Miss if it was in Ole Miss, just because I just think that I don't remember that game happening. Yvonne said he remembers that game. I don't remember that game. But if Memphis beat them and the game was in Ole Miss, I would have took Ole Miss for redemption. But I'll go with Memphis in this one because it's in Memphis.
Yeah, so Ole Miss, they lost a lot of key players, man. A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, and even their quarterback also. And I like Memphis in this game, man. Memphis, they brought back a lot of their skilled players on the offensive side, and they reloaded, and they had a great recruiting class. So I got Memphis winning this game really convincingly. Just wanted to point everybody else's predictions. So surprisingly, Duke, Marlon, and Jasper all picked Ole Miss to win the game, and Antonio is the only one that picked Memphis to win, and I got Memphis also.
I actually looked up the game. The last time they played it was actually 2015 when Paxton Lynch and the company beat Chad
I remember
Kelly.
that one.
I'm tripping. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was recently. But regardless, it really has nothing to do with this one. Memphis at home. I'm taking them.
Yeah.
All right. Our next game we have on the board is Virginia Tech versus Boston College.
Okay, so Virginia Tech's big-time defensive coordinator Bud Foster retired. Bud Foster, during the Freight Beamer days, was a huge component of Virginia Tech's success. They were always really good on defense. And I'm really interested to see how Virginia Tech does. Just because this game is in Blacksburg, I'm going with Virginia Tech because I don't know much about Boston College. They're very inconsistent, especially the last couple of years. But I'm going to go with Virginia Tech being the home team.
Yeah, I mean, Boston College hasn't been good in my opinion. Like, well, a legit team
since Matt Ryan.
There. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they they don't compete from time to time, but Virginia Tech at home, I'm not going against them. I got the Hokies in this one. And I didn't do no research for that game because I didn't even know we was picking that game.
Boston College, I watched a few games from them last season, and they were really awful, completely awful, especially controlling the clock, time of possession last season. And I think both teams have a lot of amazing problems. I don't think Boston College can get that passing game going against Virginia Tech's defense. They got to put on a huge performance, and this game will be in it's actually going to be on a neutral site. It's going to be in Massachusetts, so at Alumni Stadium. So yeah. So I actually have Virginia Tech winning this game, man. I think that Virginia Tech's defense is going to win this game, and surprisingly, everybody picked Virginia Tech in this game except Antonio. So we'll see what happens with this game. All right, let's go to our next game, and our next game that we got is we got Boise State versus Florida State.
Ooh. Okay, so I've been very harsh on Florida State's head coach, Willie. I can't think of his last name right now. I don't know why it left my. Yes, Willie Taggart. I never liked him because I saw his resume when he got hired. He wasn't good at Oregon. He wasn't good at he was at a small school before. I can't think of off the top of my head. But he wasn't successful. I didn't like his record. And I'm thinking over here, why the hell did Florida State hire him? I didn't see anything, beforehand that made me say, okay, I see why they went after him. And then last year he was terrible. So I'm very harsh on him because I like the Florida State program. I think college football is so much better when Florida State is good. I want to see Florida State always amongst the elite. A couple of years ago, it was Florida State and Clemson battling it out in the ACC, and now it's not even close. I'm going to go with Florida State because it's honestly just a pick because I like Florida State more. I'm hoping that they get back to what they once were, and they have to start somewhere, and this is it.
Okay. I'm going to take Florida. I'm not taking Florida State. I'm taking Boise State. What the hell am I talking about? One thing about Boise State that I like about Boise State, even though Chris Peterson's not there no more, one thing about Boise State is they're a really tough team to beat at the beginning of the year and in a bowl game. Like, they have time to prepare for you. They come out with trick plays. They come out with swag. I think they're going to knock off Florida State. Florida State is just not there to me. You just said it. Willie Taggart, I'm not high on at all. I think that they're going to replace him maybe mid-year for sure. At the end of the year, they're going to realize that he's just not the guy because in order for him to keep the job, I think they have to really compete in the ACC, which I don't think they're going to do. So I got Boise State upsetting. I don't know if it's an upset, but it's at Florida State or around Florida. I know it has to be in that venue, around that venue. I got Boise State traveling across the United States and knocking off the nose.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Florida State in this one. They did announce that James Blackman will be their quarterback. They picked him as a starter over Alex Hornibrook, who was the transfer from I think Wisconsin. But I think this is going to be a better Florida State team. They're not going to win the ACC title, but they'll be much improved compared to last year. And they still have Cam Akers, man. I think Cam Akers could possibly, make some noise on the scene as far as running backs and help his draft stock. So Cam Akers I think he's gonna have a huge game against Boise State. And but even though they got a lot of talent with the receiving corps in Florida State, in Boise State, but I got Florida State winning this game. And everybody picked Florida State except True. So, interesting.
The way I like it. Oh.
All right. So, before we go to the...
That's a triple, not so fast, my friend. Oh.
Before we go to the game of the week, I think this game is actually a Sunday night game, and it's Notre Dame versus Louisville.
Okay. Well, Notre Dame is well coached. So Brian Kelly's the head coach. It's tough for him to get recruits up there in Notre Dame because they're an independent school. It's not what it once was. Now it's a very regional sport. And it's not sexy to play at Notre Dame like it once was. I don't know what to expect out of Louisville. I know Notre Dame's got talent, so I've got Notre Dame. And I like Ian Book, by the way.
You like Ian what?
I like their head quarterback, Ian Book. He's solid.
Yeah, I agree with Yvonne here. One thing about them, well, down there, something just flew my eye. Notre Dame, I saw firsthand compete with the Georgia Bulldogs, who I think is going to be playing the national championship last year. Well, last year they competed, and they could have beat them. I just think Notre Dame is one of those teams that definitely start out hot normally in the beginning of the season, and they kind of tailor back at the back end. So I think they're going to start off hot. Louisville could come in there and maybe do some things and score some points. I'm not going to say do some things. They may score some points, but at the end of the day, Notre Dame's going to knock them off. And I think they're actually going to beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think this game could possibly be a blowout. A blowout. Notre Dame's defensive backs, they have size on these receivers, so I think it's going to be a huge advantage for them. And Louisville has a new coach, man, Scott Satterfield. So I think it's going to be a task for him to handle. We all know about Notre Dame offensive line. They're efficient. They're explosive, man. And with Ian Book there, I think they're just going to wipe out that defensive front of Louisville. So I got this as a blowout. So Notre Dame wins this game, and it looks like everybody picked Notre Dame to win this game. All right, let's go to the game day of the week, man. It's the game of the week. This game will actually be on a neutral site, and we got Auburn versus Oregon.
Okay. So this is interesting because Auburn's a 3-point favorite, and I'm going by Oregon by 10 points. I think the big difference here is experience. Oregon is one of the most experienced teams in the nation, while Auburn is not. They're very young. And I honestly think Gus Malzahn might get fired this year. I like Gus Malzahn. I hope it doesn't happen. I think he's just in a tough spot because he can't win recruiting against Nick Saban, and it's hard because Nick Saban runs the SEC. I'm very interested to see Bo Nix. I think he's got talent, and I think he fits the Gus Malzahn offense perfectly. But I just don't think this is their year. And everybody knows I like Auburn year in and year out usually. However, Oregon's got way more experience, and I'm not even a big Justin Hubert guy. I'm excited to watch him play though, to see can he live up to the hype this year. However, I'm just not a fan, but I do think that because of the experience, they're going to win this game. I've got them win this game 26-16.
Wow. Keo, before I go, I don't want you to go because I know where you're going with it. Who did everybody else pick?
Okay, so everybody picked Oregon to win except Duke. Duke is rolling with Auburn in this matchup.
I need you to put Duke on this phone and tell him he's a smart man. Oh, man.
Wow.
The upset. Yvonne said, when we brought it up at the beginning of the show, when he came on, he said what he loves about college football is it's so unpredictable. All I heard all off season was how good Oregon is from Keo. Keo's big on Oregon. He has him in the Final Four. I don't know if he has him in the national championship game, but I know he has him in the Final Four. And on the opening weekend of college football, the Ducks fall in Dallas just like they did when they lost to LSU with the Honey Badger in Dallas when everybody hyped them that year. This is going to be an upset. Yvonne said he likes Gus Malzahn. I'm with him. I like Gus Malzahn too. But here's the thing. The defensive line of Auburn is going to dominate this game. Remember I said it. They're going to dominate this game. Derek Brown is going to be top 5, top 10 pick, no doubt about it. Unless he just gets hurt this year, he's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick in the NFL draft. These guys have a nice rotation. I think Bo Nix, even though he's a freshman, and I get it, I think, like Yvonne said, it's the system. Gus Malzahn's going to get you with trick plays. He's going to come from different angles. You're going to have to be prepared for everything, and they're going to score some cheap touchdowns just because of play calling. And when the chips are down, Oregon's going to have a chance to score at the end to win the game, but the defense is going to make us stop to beat the Ducks. And the Ducks lose in, well, I'm not going to say opening weekend, but their opening game to the Auburn Tigers. Woo-hoo! 20-16.
Okay, I guess. Obviously, I got Oregon winning this game because, you got a true freshman with Bo Nix, and then the Ducks is a decent defense, and that defense that you're talking about, the defense that you're talking about with Auburn, like those scrubs in the front seven of Auburn, guys like Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson, and one of the most overrated defensive lines, guys like Nick Cole and Big Cat Bryant. I think they're the most overrated defense in the SEC, and they will definitely get exposed by Big Bad Justin Herbert, man, because this guy is elite, man. This is the best thing. This is the best thing happening. This is the best thing happening for Oregon in quite some time, man. Swag out University is back, man. You got the transfer. You got the transfer Jawan Johnson from Penn State, the true freshman Minka Howard. Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me, man. Oregon's going to run through this team. And
what's the score going to be? What's the score going to be?
The score, I'll give it 37-17. And the thing with Justin Herbert, the thing with Justin Herbert, he's an elite talent. He got tools to handle the pressure in these big moment type of games. Well, Auburn, they have to go against a veteran defense, man. That's going to bring pressure to Auburn from the start. And I don't think Auburn's offensive line, they could protect Bo Nix, man. I think it got weaker. And they still have to prove that they could run the ball after a downfall year last year. So I don't know if they could keep up with Oregon in this shootout, man, because we're talking about Justin Herbert, man, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire nation, man. And I think he will set the tone the first week as far as the Heisman list goes.
Oh, my God.
Just look out for him, man. He's coming, man. You talk about Trevor Lawrence, you better shut the front door with that.
Bruh, I swear to God, every year there's somebody that's super overrated when it comes to, like, Heisman picks. And this dude, I don't see it. Y'all can sit there and try to hype him all y'all want. He's cool to me. He's not no big-time NFL guy. He's not somebody that should be a number one overall pick. He's cool. He's a cool little quarterback for college. He's not what you're hyping him up to be. And I can't believe
I agree.
This is the best.
You put him in the same category as Trevor Lawrence?
I really don't think Keo listens to what he. I don't think he believes what he said.
You know, Dabo Swinney, what he's doing is he's minimizing his strengths and weaknesses for him not to get exposed on the college level.
Oh my God.
So keep it up while you can, Dabo, because we're talking about Justin Herbert now, and you'll see it on the game of the week.
All right, 20 points. I like it. I'm not saying that they can't win, but you having a 20-point game. I mean, come on, man. Oh, my God.
I just like Oregon, man. I like Oregon this year. This is a solid team.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, everybody picked Oregon except True and Duke. They picked Auburn. So this is interesting. But with that being said, time is up, and let's go to our shout-outs. And I'll do my shout-outs. Shout out to True, always holding it down. Shout out to Yvonne, finally coming back. Sorry what you had to go through with your Colts and Andrew Luck. Shout out to Ray, Marlon. Shout out to Jasper, Big Mike, and everybody that continues to help and supports the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the shows up to date, man. So thank you, everybody that continues to support the show. Stardom Sism show this Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. And with that being said, I'm out.
All right. Well, so I want to give a shout out to everybody except Andrew Luck. I can't wait for the season. I'm excited for college football and fantasy football. The NFL, that's a mess. But I'm excited for college, especially this weekend. It's going to be fun. It's going to be madness. And I'm so excited that football is back. I actually have a fantasy draft tomorrow. We have ours coming up. So it's here, baby. I think for the next 6-7 months, it's going to be straight football. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Football never gets old. You have college on Saturdays. You have NFL on Sundays. What else could you ask for? I'm excited, and I can't wait to talk more about it next week.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, shout out to Yvonne, man. He's finally back home. Well, he's not back home, but he's back in the United States. And then, look, he's on vacation still, and he found time to come on our show. What? I gotta give him
he's dedicated.
But all just aside, man, happy to have you back on the show. Low key, I needed you on it because it was getting, a little boring just beating Keo down every week. I mean, I was just doing it while I was working out, while I was talking to students.
Actually, you beat Mike down. You could never beat me down. Come on, man. Really?
I need Mike here too because 2-on-1 I still got the handicap. I'm still beating you and Yvonne down. Mike needs to come on.
Here he goes. Jasper, like Andrew Luck, he quit on us. I don't know what Jasper's doing.
But
really quick, guys. I know the show's about to end, but we do have the NBS draft on Labor Day. So really quick, who's gonna win the NBS league this year, man? Will Duke be back to back, or will we have a new champion?
Well, I want to say that Duke is very similar to his New Orleans Saints. Soon as he won it, he got caught cheating. That's how Duke got caught. And then True, he's like the New England Patriots. He's won a lot, but he's gotten caught cheating too. Always convincing people to trade him. I mean, that's cheating. So the next Patrick Mahomes in the Kansas City Chiefs, it's my turn. Woo-hoo!
Oh my God! Yo, let me hear
it's my turn. I'm back, baby. I know True Duke sleepers, and it's going down.
Well, all I gotta say is the two guys that's talking don't even make the playoffs majority of the time. These two guys. I mean, I'm gonna do it like Yvonne does it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we're talking soccer, you know, he doesn't always tell you about if we was comparing it to the team. You know, that's how he does it, right? So if we was to say Yvonne and Keo with teams in fantasy football, this would literally be like the Sacramento Kings of basketball. And I'm talking about pre-De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. I'm talking about not with Chris Webber and them. I'm talking about just straight trash. And Keo, oh my God, Keo would be like the Lions when they don't have Calvin Johnson. Keo never wins. So I mean, this is ridiculous for them to even say nonsense like that. We know what it is. They can call me a cheater, but just at the end of the day, give me my respect like Goat Brady. But I do want to say shout out to Keo, man. For real. Dude created the stuff on YouTube. Please go subscribe. You don't have to even download the app. You can just go to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. You can listen to every show. You can comment. I promise you.
That is that.
We'll answer your comments if you reach out to us. You have a fantasy football question, we'll answer it. If you just want to come on the show, feel free to reach out. We love having guests on, but we're not going to hold no punches back if you do come on the show. I just want you to know, if you come in here talking crazy, we're going to talk crazy back. So just be prepared for that. But in all honesty, it's been a great show. Football is here now. Let's get it popping, baby. Nbs Show, True Sports Junkie, and we out, baby. Peace.